I have no ambition. Okay? I just feel that having contributed to bringing about this tragedy to Nigeria by contributing to the emergence of Tinubu as president, I should contribute in my last lap. Okay? Because I'm 65, I should be retiring. In my last lap, let me contribute. Let me contribute towards removing this evil that I believe will destroy Nigeria if left unchecked.
Position are you aiming to run for in 2027?
I have not made any decision about what position to run for. For me,
but you're thinking about it.
Frankly, yeah, I'm thinking about it. We are discussing with many people, even in the coalition. We discussed that, but I have not made any firm decision. For me, priority number one, okay, is to get a person that will improve the quality of governance in Nigeria. If the quality of governance in Nigeria is improved, I will thrive. I will do well. Okay? I have an address. I have a profession. I have capabilities. I don't need to be in politics. I don't need to be in public service to thrive. So first order of business is to have a country that is well run, where the resources are applied, where people have a great opportunity to realize their potential. So for me, that's number one. Okay? That person also should be able to defeat President Tinubu, because President Tinubu is determined to make this election look as if it is settled. It is not. They are giving the impression through defections and so on as if, you know, this is set. It is not. We know. Okay?
Yeah. So it might take a very long time for INEC to get to the ADA, and it might look a bit partial if the Commission skipped the other ones in favor of registering the ADA right away.
Look, it is not a queuing system. The way these things should work is that any party that is registered will get assigned a set of officers. The requirements in the Constitution that have been repeatedly upheld in the Supreme Court are very simple. They are very easy to meet. So, you know, you don't need the entire INEC to queue 100 applications and say, oh, we'll finish A before we come to Z. You assign teams, and look, we've project managed things like that. You can do this in no time if you want to do it. Of course, they will give those excuses, but we don't believe it. We don't believe that. And when the timelines in the Electoral Act and the Constitution are very clear. There are a number of days that INEC must respond and say, this is the defect in your application. Otherwise, the Constitution says, you know, you are deemed to have been registered. So INEC is treading on a very narrow path here. It has an opportunity to show its independence, and it should prove its skeptics wrong. But there are opposing views, but the coalition decided that that will be pursued, and that's why you saw the application.
Right.
And in
it's a collective decision.
It was a collective decision.
Right, because what we are hearing is, I mean, to the public, it looks like there are sort of divisions within this opposition coalition about what the best way forward is, that these are not, I mean, you know, because you're not talking about parties coming together like we saw.
It's not a merger.
You're talking about sort of...
We're looking for one platform to all go into. No. A decision was taken, okay, to set up committees to engage with existing platforms, as well as another committee to get all the efforts. Already in the coalition, there are about 3 groups that have made attempts to register their own party, okay? So we said, look, come together, harmonize, and come up with one name, one party, one logo, one constitution, and they came at the last meeting. We were briefed on the name and the symbol and so on, and that team was given the go-ahead to proceed with the registration. Some leaders in the coalition prefer a new party, as I said, while some feel that, you know, we should just go into an existing party and start organizing, because the main battle begins when we have a platform.
Sure.
This is all preliminaries.
That implies that your presence in the SDP is very temporary then. I mean, that you're going to leave the SDP, assuming the ADA gets registered?
When I joined the SDP, I made it clear in my statement that even though I'm in the SDP, just like every other, I mean, Atiku Abubakar is still in the PDP. Peter Obi has not officially led Labour Party. But we all agreed that if we have consensus on a platform, we are going to give up our own legacy parties and focus on that platform. We are still not there yet. The leadership will receive a report on the engagement with the SDP as well as the other party, and then a decision will be taken. I strongly believe that the SDP is the best platform for the coalition. It has a history, it has a legacy, it has a sentimental value, and everything about it is almost perfect. The name, the logo, everything. It has a history, and I'm advocating for that amongst my colleagues. But it will be a collective decision.
Right. And if that collective decision is made, you will be happy to leave the SDP and join the ADA?
I will do whatever I can to ensure that we unite under one platform.
Right. So whatever happens, just to be clear, whatever happens with your considerable political firepower, and let's be honest, you have quite a bit of it, the impetus for you will lie with whatever party the collective consensus decides is going to be the vehicle.
Yes, I believe in that very strongly. I believe that the unity, look, Nigerians are tired of the APC. We know that, we have polled that. There is 91% disapproval of this administration across the country, 91% disapproval. It's the worst in Nigeria's history. But Nigerians are looking for a credible option. Yeah, but they want to see people coming together, putting aside their differences and ambitions, and giving them an alternative to this failure of a government.
But that's the key thing. Can you put aside your personal ambitions?
You've got
yourself, you've got Atiku Abubakar, you've got Peter Obi, you've got Rotimi Amechi, you have so many big political, wigs with huge, ambitions.
Big names does not equate ambitions, okay? You've mentioned my name. I have no ambition, okay? I just feel that having contributed to bringing about this tragedy to Nigeria by contributing to the emergence of Bola Tinubu as president, I should contribute in my last lap, okay? Because I'm 65, I should be retiring. In my last lap, let me
You've got a long way to go.
Let me contribute towards removing this evil that I believe will destroy Nigeria if left unchecked.
Right, but the problem, of course, is that the PDP, Labour, the SDP, in their own right as already functioning political parties that make up part of the opposition, are not officially part of this new party.
No.
The ADA.
No.
And is there likely to be rivalry between them, or at the very least a rather complicated relationship? Because for you to really pose a challenge to President Tinubu, you need to be united.
Yes, but you see, the mistake that most people make is that they think that what we are trying to do is similar to what we did in 2013 with the APC. It is not. Parties are not involved in this discussion. Okay, the opposition groups are led by individuals. Okay, Vice President Atiku Abubakar has a group of people from PDP. Some are not. Some are even from APC. There is a group led by the trio of Rauf Aregbesola, Emeka Nwajiba, and Abubakar Malemi, former Buhari ministers, and this group has membership across all parties. Peter Obi has his group from Labour Party as well as the PDP and so on. But it is the leaders of these groups that are in the discussion. We are not bringing parties together. We are not engaged in a merger. I am part of the leadership, but I'm not there representing SDP. I'm there as an individual with some political weight, no matter how small, in my state or in the Northwest. Okay, so this is how all the groups, how the coalition is formed. It has nothing to do with parties. But we all agreed that if we're able to come to a consensus about a political party to go into, we will leave our parties and join with all our followers. That is the understanding.
Sure, of course, the political party consensus is the first step, isn't it? The second step is who's going to actually be the presidential candidate of the party.
First you need a party. Every party has its constitution and rules. It is the rules of the party that will determine how the primaries will be carried out, how the congresses will be carried out, that will lead to the emergence of party leadership as well as candidates for the election. That is a second or third step. We are not even talking about that. This is why I feel quite empowered and encouraged by the attitude of the leadership, because nobody is talking about his aspiration.
But they're all checking each other out.
Well, I'm sure they would. I mean, we are politicians. We are students of power. So yes, they will do that. But nobody is talking about, I want to be the president, or you know, leave this for me, and so on. Everybody is saying we have a problem. This country is targeted for destruction by a collection of urban bandits. Let's come together, send them back home, and put this country back on track. Well,